Guys, we have about 28 hours left of this month's Dimension Predator, the one in Alunia, the light one. I keep telling myself every month, I'm like, I'm going to do Dimension Predator content. I'm going to do Dimension Predator content. I'm going to do Dimension Predator content. And then I don't, because I don't really like the Dimension Predator. I do it sometimes, but I don't really like doing it. And then you roll the rune, and then you get all the grinds, and the grinds are like flat defense. And then you roll the rune, and it's like all resistance. And then you're like, what did I do that for? And you basically just wait for RNG to be in your favor half the time with Dimension Predator, especially with the twins mini bosses. Anyway, so I keep saying I'm going to do Dimension Predator. I never do Dimension Predator content, and today we're doing Dimension Predator content, and I found that I wanted to do something different, right? I want to do something different. Everyone's using like, oh, use Valajul, oh, use Zhongfei, the Fire Panda, use this, a lot of people using Vertiheal, the Kaki and the Kaki, Fire Nagami, Bailiff, things like that. I wanted to use something a little bit different this month, something that other people are not using. So I used the Fire String Master, number one, and number two, the Fire Howl. So we're going to take a look at the Fire String Master, Fire Howl, see how I ruin them, see what they do, and see why they're actually pretty decent at Dimension Predator. So here are the runes for the team that we used, and the runes actually matter less in Dimension Predator because how they change the stats for your team to try to make it more accessible for early game players to actually complete, except that it's still very frustrating. If I was an early game player, I'd be like, is this the whole game? Is this just gonna be more of this? I don't really want to play this anymore. I'll play Genshin Impact. I don't know. So we have a couple of Vertiheals, but this is the Vertiheal that we're using. In here, he's just attack, crit damage, attack. It's just whatever he was for being Vertiheal. Whatever he was for being Vertiheal. This is, I believe, a Poo-Poo. Poo-Poo Inugami. Yes, it's triple. It's just not triple. It's a double fight Inugami. It's not specifically designed for anything. It's just whatever. Basically just whatever. I was using him for Rift Beasts mostly, I think. I don't think we use him in any dungeon. On this account, this is the Europe server account. I don't think we actually use him in dungeons on this account. So, or PvP. We don't really use him for much of anything on this account. So he's just on whatever he's on. He's got some speed. He's got some damage. He's got some whatever. For the next unit, Bailiff. So this is Bailiff for BJ5. It's just the same runes for BJ5. Nothing was changed at all. If you have a Bailiff for BJ5, then that's that. The things that are kind of the interesting ones, which we'll go, I mean, those are fairly standard. We don't really need to go over those units. I think this guy is not even, yeah, he's not even fully skilled. This guy is fully, oh no, this is the other Vertiheal. Whatever, they're both fully skilled. This guy's probably not. Yeah, he's not. So he's got 2 skill ups on that. He's missing skill ups on this, just to show you the skill up. So the next one that we used is actually, and you guys gonna cry. Well, actually, you guys gonna cry on the runes, but this is not rune for anything PvP wise. This is like not even a unit that really we use. This is on Swift Fight. It's on just whatever speed. Look at this, amazing. You guys can never ever get a rune that looks like, I don't even know why we kept this rune on our account at all. But that is a rune on the account. Oh, this is things that I just upgraded today. I was like, let me stick a fight set on, whatever. And I thought that maybe this would roll speed, but whatever. So this is like the worst fight set. This is the worst Swift set, basically in all of existence. This is no speed, but it doesn't really need to be. We don't need a 300 speed Hung Yan for Dimension Predator. That's not really. We don't need that at all. So this is just on whatever, basically. Whatever, and I was lazy and whatever. So she's basically just here to do skill 3 Millennium Melody, increase attack bar, increase attack power, and heal as well, right? Attack speed gets slowed down by half, and you cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. I think this is actually kind of nice for Dimension Predator. This Melody of Resentment plays the song, decrease the HP on the enemy, gets turned by 5% each, decrease the attack. The decreased attack power is the part that I like here. Your attack speed gets slowed down, you cannot attack together. So this is like, she does her thing, and then she's like, just in general, like when she uses these songs, she does her thing, and then she's like, okay, I did my song, let me just get out of the way and let everyone else do their damage and not steal turns, not suck up turns by doing things that are really not going to do any damage, right? So I feel that it's kind of valuable for here. We don't have the cool time turns on Melody of Resentment. That would be nice. The glancing hit on the first skill is kind of irrelevant because we can't even get the glancing hit on the boss anyway. So it doesn't really matter that we have the glancing hit here. It's basically just for heals and attack power buffs. So people are using Colleen for this. This is basically a Colleen replacement, right? Because people are using Colleen in here. If you don't want to use her, you could use Colleen. She's very similar to Colleen. She's just a different, she's similar, but she's different, right? So Colleen heals, Colleen attack power buffs, Colleen attack power breaks on the enemies. She does basically the same thing. She's a little bit harder to skill up than Colleen, but you see that the runes are not... Like, we don't even need these specific runes. I was just trying to give her some stats. I was like, well, let's put whatever we have on in storage. I'm not going to put my fastest Swift set on Hong Young for Dimension Predator for one time. We're going to do it a month. And there's really no reason to. There's really no reason to. So the next one that I think is really cool, which I really want to focus on the most, is Lala and Friends. So the revenge set was not supposed to necessarily be, let's put a revenge set on. But at the very end, the revenge set came in kind of clutch. Not really clutch, we would have won anyway. But the revenge set was just... That was like the funniest moment of the entire run. So we have Lala and Friends on just speed, crit damage, HP. I do kind of like crit damage on units for Dimension Predator because you want to do a lot of damage. Like, that's one of the things. Like, if you try to just, like, sustain and last a long time and do, like, a little bit of... Like, if that's your strategy, you just do a little bit of damage and try to sustain and be... I was going to say be healthy. Be healthy. If you try to not do a whole bunch of damage, then you're just going to get blasted every time. You need to do damage. You need to do damage too, especially when he does those illusions and everything. And when there's counters of like, the boss is going to do something unless you kill it in X amount of turns. You need to do as much damage as you can to kill it in X amount of turns before it does its crazy nonsense. You do actually need some damage on these. So I actually put crit damage on this, right? So crit damage, 20% crit rate there. These are just... I think I just stole these from whatever because I was too lazy. The honest answer is I was too lazy to, like, upgrade another grind and wait another 10 minutes or 20 minutes or however long it's going to take to actually upgrade, not a grind, artifact for this. Because I'm like, I just don't care at this point. 7 years later into the game, I'm spending sometimes hours a day just waiting for runes and artifacts to upgrade. I really could not care less. Comp to us... If I knew at the beginning, they're not going to watch this, but if I knew at the beginning that this was going to be, I was going to spend hours of my days and my weeks and my years and my life just waiting for runes and artifacts to upgrade, I would have deleted this game so effing fast. I would have deleted this game so fast. Okay, so here's the stats for the Lala and Friends. We just wanted speed, crit damage, and we wanted enough crit rate, right? So just speed, crit damage, and HP. We wanted some tankiness. We don't want her to just fall over. So Lala and Friends skills attacks the enemy to remove one beneficial effect granted on a target. 75% chance recovers the HP of the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 15%. So this is a heal with the default skill, right? This is not bad. I mean, it's the same thing as Lulu, right? But we do remove a beneficial effect, which could be nice for the mid-boss when he puts the shield up, right? He puts the shield up, and then he revenges if you try to attack him while the shield is up. So this will potentially strip the shield. It also potentially strips, like, the boss, at one of his reincarnations at the end boss. He likes to steal your beneficial effects. He likes to be like, oh, I like that attack power buff. Let me stick that on me. Or whatever other buffs you have on your team. So this is nice to also so this is nice against things like that. It's just a default skill that does a strip. Also for like the third wave, they have those the Light Phantom Thief and the Kabilas and things like that. Like, this is nice to strip some things from there. This one, heal removes all harmful effects, cleanse and immunity. More so cleanse is very strong in Dimension Predator. This is similar to... this is a cleanser, right? This is a cleanser very similar to Xiang Fei, very similar to Veljul. Those are things that people are using to cleanse for Dimension Predator. But this one at least has some... Well, Xiang Fei has a heal. Veljul doesn't have a heal, but Xiang Fei has a heal. Removes harmful effects on target ally, recovers both your HP and the target's HP by 25%. Does not have skill ups, but it is at least one little cleanse for you. And then we have the Dispel Attack. This is such a beautiful skill. Okay, so Dispel Attack removes all harmful effects granted on all allies. Attack skill is random, and this is the attack skill. Skill 1 is randomly activated in proportion to the number of harmful effects removed, up to 5 times. So, if your team has that infinity continuous damage on them, Dispel attack, very nice. We cleanse all of that, and then we attack 5 times, does some damage, right? Up to 5 times, and then does some damage because he is on crit damage. So, potentially, not potentially, it is very nice. It is a very nice unit for Dimension Predator, right? So cleanses those dots, cleanses the attack power breaks, cleanses the defense breaks, cleanses the stuns because those mid bosses do defense breaks, attack power breaks, and stuns. So cleanses all of that, and it's a pretty nice. He's got the heals and he's got the cleanses, and then he also has strips, which is it's a niche unit. You take it, you're not going to take it into like every RTA match. You're not going to take it into the most RTA matches. You could kind of stick. Never mind. We'll get into that later. He doesn't have great base speed though. 99 base speed is not anything crazy. His base HP is 9885. I've seen worse, but I've seen a lot better as well. For a support unit, 9885 is not great. Defense is fine, but generally you're not going to be taking this guy into. And we don't even have grinds on him. I mean, this would have worked better if we had things a little bit more maxed as far as skills for recovery and extra damage and stuff. That would have been great, but we don't have any of those things maxed. But just for what Dimension Predator is, this is actually very helpful for, like, again, to reiterate, this is very helpful for the stage of, like, well, all the boss stages, basically. Like, the mid-boss and the end-boss. He's very, I feel like I'm just talking in circles now. He's similar to Xiongfei. He's similar to Velajul. He works pretty good. He strips, he does damage, he's a pretty decent unit. So anyway, I just wanted to go over these units for this month's Dimension Predator. If you haven't already cleared it, I know a lot of people already cleared it. If you haven't cleared it and you're like, Pega, I don't know if I care. I don't know, I still don't know if I care. I cleared it. I've cleared it a handful of times before. I don't really necessarily care to clear it every month. I'm like, if I have time and I feel like it, I'll clear it. If I don't have time and I don't feel like it, I'm just telling you honestly. Sometimes I don't clear it because I don't really care too much. I feel like anytime I get the runes from it, they roll bad, and I'm like, okay, well, this is another re-app candidate. I get those. Like the rune that we got from this month was another re-app candidate, and I also re-apped it. I threw 10 re-apps into it, didn't do anything. So it didn't have an innate, right? They don't have innates. But yeah, re-app candidate, rolled bad, re-apped, still rolled bad, was kind of pointless. Got the special scroll. Also, just the regular element 4-star. So I really didn't get anything from clearing this. And it's just RNG. I mean, you could get something amazing. You could get something that's garbage. So it's just RNG, just like anything else in the game. That's why I generally don't care too much about clearing it. But anyway, just thought it would be fun to show you guys Lala and Friends for Dimension Predator in the future. If you're like, oh, you know what? I've been thinking about maybe building Lala. You could use her for other things. You could use her for, like, Guild Wars and Guild Siege. Because, again, heals, cleanses, and strips. So there you go. That's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And then this is like this month is just like fire. Like everyone's just taking fire stuff into it, right? So anyway, that's why we did fire as well. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you as always in the next one.